Hi everyone, Boomer here for Carvel Gaming, and you'll notice by what's on the screen at the moment, I have actually completed the full set of alternate arts that are available on Hex for Gold. So because of that, I've decided to have a little bit of fun. Sometimes when you're playing Hex in the arena, you just want to be that guy. You know, that guy who just has fun at everyone else's expenses. Magic the Gathering Commander players will be very familiar with this. You just want to be the guy who ruins everyone else's fun. And since we're ruining the AI's fun, that's kind of what I'm looking to do. So what I've done is I've actually built a mono blood control deck. This was also a challenge to myself because I believe I said earlier on in the arena runs that you pretty much can't build control for arena. Now, the fact of the matter is, if you want to be efficient at farming arena, there's only one deck that you should play, and that's the mono ruby deck. However, if you want to have some fun in the arena, you want to test out some of the cards that have been put in, then there are definite ways to do that. But I'm not saying that we're going to 15-0 with this run, but I have completed a run with these. There are some bad matchups, but that's the way through. What I built the deck around was this card, Soul Cube. And I want to build a few decks around it, but Blood seemed to be a decent place to start with. You guys are more than welcome to come up with your own ideas. The second thing that I wanted to do is take into consideration Argus, the Herald of Doom. Mainly because he's got one of the coolest names in the game. He also gets a super good ability with his equipment, which are these, the Doomseeker boots, which is each of your card name, Argus Herald of Doom, have 4 discard it and void target card. So this basically gives you a get out of jail free card against pretty much anything that doesn't have spell shield. And additionally, because we're in Blood, we can play Rise Again, which puts a troop from a graveyard into play. We can also play Call the Grave, which picks up a card from a graveyard and puts it into our hand, so we can get multiple uses out of Argus. And once we get it into play with a Soul Cube, when a troop dies, you add a Soul counter to it, and then you can transform Soul Cube into Genesis Cube, which is put a troop with a Soul counter from a graveyard into play under your control. So you can see we're going to be abusing our graveyard an awful lot here is the idea. Other equipment I've got, Amulet of the Cuboid. When Soul Cubes enters play, create a random troop and destroy it. I think this is currently bugged because basically it creates a troop for every Soul Cube on the battlefield and destroys it. So I think that that's currently a little bug, so it's a little more powerful than it should be. And I've also got Gloves of Unrelenting Pain, which gives your Giant Cups flies target champion, choose and discard a card at random instead of just normally choosing and discard a card. So we've got the standard control things, Inquisition, Giant Cups, fly, couple of Vampire Kings because I only have 2 unfortunately, 4 terrible transfers because we're mono blood, 4 murders, these are the alternate art ones, they look pretty nice, couple of Pact of Pain for card draws, and I'm playing 26 shards because I want to hit 4 shards pretty much always, and 26 shards I think means that you're 50% likely to do so, or somewhere in that region. Also playing 4 Extinction just because. If I were to try and improve the deck, I would say it probably needs 1 more Vampire King and it definitely needs 1 more Argus. But I don't have those at the moment and I'm not really willing to drop 2,500 platinum on something that's just an idea in my head at this point. There probably will be, I probably will end up getting a 3rd Vampire King because Vampire King is just really good. I've certainly got enough stuff to work with to end up getting a Vampire King. I've got like 41 packs or something like that, and I've still not used up a lot of my constructed event tickets that I've got here, or my VIP tickets. The VIP tickets might be hard to get rid of now. So I've definitely got my way to trade into that at the moment, but I think that this is just a shell deck that I wanted to show you guys. I also think you could play this deck Diamond with Repel, for example, Soul Cube again. You'd probably have to use Judgment for your wipe. So if I were to get rid of the only promo stuff. So I guess you could run Judgment, which is destroy all cards with cost less than the highest cost among cards you control. Annoying if you're playing against the elf guy that you can't quite kill everything. The only slight problem is that a lot of diamond control removes from game or voids. The other thing that you potentially could use is Augmented Awakening, which puts a troop in from your graveyard to your hand and grows it. So it just doesn't feel quite as efficient, but Diamond has a lot better troops than Blood does. So I think that that could be swings and roundabouts, but this is what I'm going with for the moment. The other thing that this deck does do, and something that I think this deck is fairly unique in, it actually allows you to play again. It actually allows you to just play around with Zarlocks, which I think is incredibly funny, because Zarlocks is a very seriously annoying boss, as we've seen on multiple occasions. So I don't think we've quite seen Zarlocks in his maximum annoyance capacity so far. So we might see that this time round. I don't think we've seen him like turn 1 or turn 2 Tarantulas or anything like that. I kept this hand because it has 4 shards basically. So 4 shards, Pact of Pain, removal spell with Total Transfer, and it has an Argus in as well. Most of the AI decks are absolutely terrible at dealing with an Argus. They really aren't very good at dealing with Argus at all. They tend to that could be annoying because he could become indestructible before I do anything. But that's okay because I've got voidy things. Choice here, I could Inquisition him or I could drop Pact of Pain looking to draw into my 5th charge. I'm going to put the Pact of Pain down while I've still got time. We'll see what I draw next turn. I'm not really that interested in casting Inquisition against Darkspire Enforcer. He really only has Extinction, which is something that causes an issue as far as mana goes. That is potentially annoying because this guy's going to get up to rather large amounts of power. There's a Soul Cube. Okay, so now I've got to think a little bit. Can I just risk running it out there? I think we can do that. I'm still on high enough life that I'm not tremendously worried. It made a Typhoon Galleon and killed it, so that's not a big deal. There's nothing I can kill with Zarlox's ability, so I'm not really too interested in using it at the moment. If he makes a Priestess or something like that, then fine. Darkspire Punisher, okay. Now I'm on 11, so this guy's still not quite indestructible. Vampire King. Not great because I can't kill anything. That's annoying not being able to Terrible Transfer, but I'm actually going to take the opportunity now to just go ahead and kill Gortizuma because that guy's going to get way too big. And I am just going to shrink Throat Cutter just to give me an extra little bit of time to see if I can draw into an Extinction or a Terrible Transfer. It's unfortunate that this has happened this way, but sometimes that's just the way the game goes. Right, so it needs to be Extinction that I draw this turn, unfortunately, and I don't hit my 5th shard. So that's a little bit unfortunate that we got off to a loss right away. Deck really didn't help us out too much there, but I'm not too worried getting to a loss right away because sometimes this deck will just lose, and that is the problem with control decks on the whole. Certainly when you're in the arena, is that you will sometimes just straight up not draw what you need and you'll lose. There's an old, I'll copy my Inquisition, thank you. There is an old sort of Magic saying that there's no such thing as a wrong threat, only wrong answers. Well, that was pretty much the perfect example of that, where he just made 3 guys and I didn't have the correct answers to them, and unfortunately it was enough to wipe me out. So what's he got in hand? He's got an Inquisition which he can copy, which I'm going to get rid of. And I will take another Corpse Fly. He can't actually cast either of his Corpse Flies at this point, so we're in really great shape. His hand's 4 Sapphire Shards and a Corpse Fly, so and he gets the Mastery of Time thing. We're not too bothered about that because Mastery of Time isn't going to help him out too much. I'm going to take this opportunity to put Pact of Pain down. He can do whatever he wants to the next couple of turns. I don't think it's going to matter because I'm just going to outdraw him. He's still not drawn his second Blood Shard, so he can't play that Corpse Fly that's in his hand at the moment. So I'm actually cool here now. You know what? I'm actually going to make Corpse Fly because I could end up sticking his. Corpse Fly. I actually stuck a Blood Shard or like something that could make Blood Shards. So the randomness on Corpse Fly's effect is really irritating to deal with. Okay, I'm actually going to hold up Time Ripple. That's not a good card to use on Giant Corpse Fly. Yeah, it's like you just discarded 2 cards there. That didn't feel very good. If he makes a Corpse Fly, if he's able to make a Corpse Fly, I think I'll just drop my 5 casting cost Corpse Fly. I can always call the grave it. God, nothing but Corpse Flies is what's coming down here. And we hit his Corpse Fly. And in fact, I'm going to call the grave his Corpse Fly so that I have yet another Corpse Fly for next turn. One of the great things about playing a mirror matchup against the AI is that you can just use Call the Grave as a dig up your graveyard thing. Okay, so we're up to 5, which is great because that means we can now use the Pact of Pain at end of turn. Corpse Fly him again. Yeah, him not making that Blood Sapphire Shard turn 3 was hideous. It's just put him so far back now. He could cast Zodiac Divination or something like that to try and get himself back in the game, but I'm just going to sit here happily activating away on Pact of Pain. Let's Corpse Fly him again, why not? Malice Demon ain't getting resolved anytime soon, and I would have 2 murders and a terrible transfer for it, so... Now, he could, when he gets blood, dig up his Inquisition, which would take me probably both... It would probably take both my murders, but I don't think at the end of the day that's a big problem. And let's just kill him. And we get back our loss from the first game as well. Okay, we're up against Nelebrin Scout. Now, this is a deck that we should be fairly good against because we're playing an Extinction deck. The only card that I'm particularly worried about in his deck is Fist of Brigadin. That guy could be seriously annoying if I don't draw an Argus. He's one of the reasons why I would like 3 Arguses in this deck. But I checked the auction house before coming online, and they've like doubled in price recently. So I think that's probably a little bit of a midweek spike. If it goes higher than that, it goes higher than that, and there's not really. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, to tell you the truth. Okay, we've drawn a Argus now, so there's really very little he can actually do. We've got so much removal in our deck, I don't think that it matters. I would like to pick up maybe something like Pact or something. I'm going to actually murder the Root Dancer for the simple reason that that can get out of control very quickly, and I want my terrible transfer to be relevant while it's on 5. Dream Stag's okay, I'm not really too worried about that. Okay, so we're definitely going to hit 5, so now I've got a choice of whether I Corpse Fly or make Pact of Pain. I'm going to make Pact of Pain because I still haven't drawn into an Extinction yet, and I am going to want to draw into other things like Call the Graves and Rise Against. Okay, so he makes a giant caterpillar, not the scariest. Okay, so I'll make a 5th shard. I'm going to drop Corpse Fly. I still don't need to hold anything up, and this lets me draw a card at end of turn as well. So, we'll see. It's very possible he drops Fist of Brigadin this turn, but again, we've not got too much of a problem with that. I'll block the Caterpillar just because it's irritating. because it can turn into a 5/4 with spell shield, I think, and I'd rather it not do that on my watch. Corpse fly him, I suppose. Doesn't appear to have too much in hand at the moment. Oh, he just lost a Wrathwood. That's not really... Again, Wrathwood's another really annoying card that Argus just deals with completely, so not worried there. Sure, I'll trade if you want to. My guys come back, yours don't. And there's an extinction. And our terrible transfer is currently for 7, so we've pretty much got this game locked up now. It's just a case of waiting until... Because what I will more than likely do is dig up his Wrathwood Colossus. And there's a Soul Cube. The things you can do when you know that your opponent has no direct damage in his deck. And the best thing, and another good thing about Soul Cube is that it means that his ability... Ooh, Constantina, nice. It means that his ability is pretty much useless because when it kills my guy, there's no guarantee it will kill a Vampire King, but if it does kill my guy, he will simply just come back via the Genesis Cube when I make it. There's Rise again, so I'm going to pick up his Wrathwood Colossus and beat him over the head with it. You get to see what that card in his hand is that he's been holding on to. My guess is it's a wild... Oh, it's Wild Aura. Okay, fair enough. Do I make backup Vampire King here? I don't think there's a need to. He's going to use his ability this turn and it doesn't increase the clock. Sure, whatever. I'll gain some more life. Okay, so I'm going to be on 30 coming up. He's not... I think he's not using his ability because it won't kill Wrathwood Colossus no matter what. And I don't have 2 other guys, basically. Eye of Creation for 7. This could be interesting. What have we got? Fist of Brigadin. And nothing else really that interesting. Sure. He doesn't use his ability either. I find that funny, but I'll draw some cards. It's like, yeah, I know the stop is already dead, but at least this way, you know, this way I've actually got double terrible transfer up, so he can't even kill the Wrathwood Colossus, so it's a little bit... it's a bit sad, really. But because that's the one thing I didn't take into account there, because Fist of Brigadin is actually indestructible, it absorbs all the damage from Wrathwood Colossus. Wrathwood Colossus doesn't just deal 6 to it and then go nuts. Killing you with your own guy. It's always the best part of games when you get to just beat your opponent up with his own guys. I think that's, you know, that's at the heart of every Magic the Gathering Commander experience. Everyone loves to just end up beating people over the head with their own stuff. I did want to try and put Relentless Corruption in this deck, but it's just too slow. And I think that the synergy with Argus Rise Again and Soul Cube is more powerful than Relentless Corruption. Because even though the AI plays some very powerful cards, if you're talking about the bosses, it also plays some utter gash that I don't want anything to do with. And like the To me, the first Relentless Corruption is almost always bad. The second one is okay. It's only when you get to the third and fourth one that it becomes ridiculous. Whenever I've played with Relentless Corruption, certainly in... I'm going to make Giant Corpse Fly because he might make the mistake of bouncing it and putting it back into play or something like that. And it's always good to get a Town Crier out of your opponent's hand, especially when he's capable of blinking it like nuts. He doesn't seem to have Sapphire Mana, that's too bad. Soul Cube. Oh, nice ability! Yeah, this is the screw your opponent as much as possible with their own stuff deck. One thing that you can do is use Xarlox's ability to kill your Corpse Fly, which then gets a soul counter on it, and if you get a Soul Cube and a Genesis Cube in play, you just keep bringing the Corpse Fly back and making your opponent discard a card at random every turn. Oh, he's going to take the Instigator. Never mind. That was my Instigator, damn it. I'll just have to wait until I draw an Argus or something. I'm going to make Pact of Pain just because we're going to need the cards again. I'm not particularly enthused about point removal against this guy because of his stupid ability, but... I mean, we're both sort of... we're both stuck on mana a bit here. That's a great draw, that second Soul Cube, because that means I can turn this one over into a Genesis Cube. Ooh, Lightning Elemental. And one of them, because of the way the ability works, I actually still have another Lightning Elemental in the bin. And the AI is god-awful at playing against Swift Strike. It is actually straight up god-awful at playing against Swift Strike. There's our fifth shard, finally. We're going to get a lot of charges here, which is good. I am actually tempted just to turn my Soul Cube over right now. I don't think there's any reason not to. Just turn it into Genesis Cube and get a free Ambusher Instigator. It does tap me out this turn, but I don't really mind what he does this turn. You know, Mentalist isn't really going to help him too much here, I don't think. And he's going to bounce his Solitary Exile, giving me back my Instigator, and he's going to take the other Instigator. Okay, fair enough. He was obviously hoping to get a double whammy off that. Okay. Corpse Fly doesn't seem to be too hot here, but why not? We might get a screwy discard. That's a good discard, actually, for me. Let's get another Lightning Elemental, just because I like having a lot of Swift Strike. And just beat my opponent in the face. So, the deck doing crazy things that the deck does. Yes, sure, you can have a Town Crier. Draw 2, discard 2 is fine. This guy plays Stone Skin as well, making him even more irritating for this sort of deck. Are we going to just do the whole beat up with own cards again? Yeah, I think so. Give me that. Big old trampler. And like the computer just doesn't understand how Crush works. This is really weird. This is actually a really bad matchup. Princess Corey is not a good matchup at all. The only thing that's in my favour, I think, is the fact that because Princess Corey can stop me drawing cards with the Pact of Pain because he just transforms it. The only thing that's kind of in my favour is that I'm running Argus and Extinction. So therefore I can deal with whatever Corey does and I can just get it to the point where he can't beat me. So we literally just... This game is going to be a big grind. Like a major grind. And as I said before we even started this... that if you want to grind the arena efficiently, you play mono Ruby, be it the Orcs deck or some other sort of all-in aggro deck. If you want to have a bit of fun in the arena, you can do a ton of different things that are actually viable. They just won't get you arena clears in sort of 35 minutes, which is what this deck does. Supporting fire is annoying because this gets him out of his screw, unless he rolls the 25% chance on it dying. Okay, that's a draw, and he gets an Ancestor's Chosen. And he transforms my guy into a Royal Cutblood. What is it? A rage. He's just a 1/1 with rage. That's all he is. He's just raging at people. I'll trade it for his Ancestor's Chosen if he wants. That's fine because Ancestor's Chosen gives him way too much long-term advantage, so I'm actually fine with trading off there. Especially since I can't activate either of that guy's abilities. Pack Raptor, huh? Okay, so we got our 4th shard. He doesn't have a transform up, so this is a perfect opportunity to make Vampire King. Ouch! Holiday, man. Don't have a spell, don't have a spell. Okay. Well, actually, I've got Argus, so he can have a spell if he wants it. That's cool. So we're going to terrible transfer that before it gets horribly out of hand. And we get to hit him with our Vampire King. So come on, get a creature, get a troop, get a troop. Not that. Well, that's awkward. Let's hope he doesn't get a Diamond Shard this turn. No, he just gets an irrelevant monster. I could cast Argus, but he'd just transform it. So let's go with the Vampire King again, I guess. He's getting some decent transform again. He's getting some decent transforms, I've got to admit. I mean, said that though, am I really that bothered if he... I'm pretty sure I am bothered if he transforms Argus. Yeah. I'm just going to have to run him out of cards, I think. Yeah. Pack Rats is fine. Not the wisest attack in the world, but, you know, these things happen. Yeah, you made your guy worse. Oh, really? I keep seeing that. I hope that's not the same Solitary Exile I keep hitting. So I might not be. Having said that, though, I think I'd rather it would be rather than he gets a million. Oh, that's a... He's going for the discard option. Murder, murder, murder. Yeah, I'm not having that happening. The ability on the Forgotten Monarch is when this deals damage to an opponent, each champion discards their hand and draws 3 cards. Not happening when I have this hand. Especially when I draw 4th Extinction. Plant Garden, that is a constant. I think I just... No, because he's got Solitary Exile in hand, so I'm just going to have to keep riding this Vampire King and see how far it can take me. It's so tempting to cast Argus, but it's just not the correct play, I'm pretty sure. Cosmic Transmogrifier. You can see what Corey's trying to do, can't you, really? Pack Raptor. I think I'm actually going to just kill the other one. And now that he's on 10 health, he's actually stopped attacking. Kill the Pack Raptor or the Herald. I'm actually not going to kill either. I'm going to save the charge because neither of them are a threat. They're not really a problem. Hit the Plant garden again, cool. Sure. Have a battle hopper, see if I care. Argus now costs 0. Still not going to play it. The problem with this deck, like most mono blood control decks, is that you can just draw the all removal no threat draw, which is basically what I've done here, where I have 4 extinctions in hand but can't actually cast any of the 5 spells in my hand. Sure, fine, whatever, don't really care. I have considered putting Life Siphon in the deck, but I don't like the fact that it does nothing. I can't cast anything in his bin, so Call the Grave doesn't... It does do something with Argus, though. So... Yep. Pretty much means that I've got the game locked. Well, he's got a shard now, so he's going to transform my Vampire King. It just depends what he transforms it into. There's the Cosmic Transmogrifier. He transforms my guy into a 4-3. Okay. Extinction it is. What does this do? With the same cost? Well, Argus has a cost of 12, so it shouldn't transform anything doing that. I'm going to cast Argus and see what it does. This is purely a for science maneuver. Sure. Yeah, it actually doesn't do anything, I don't think. Well, there's Soul Cube. Right on time, buddy. What the hell? That must have created something like a... That must have created something along the lines of a... Like, Servant of... What do you call it? Servant of Zakia, the one that deals 4 damage when it leaves play. Or... It must have done something like that. I'm not too sure what would have caused an instant loss like that. There are a couple of things, but I didn't get to see it. If you guys did get to see it, then oh, bad news. If you guys did get to see it, then by all means post in the comments what that was, because I can't see it off the top of my head. Okay. Get the feeling I'm going to get blown out this game. I really shouldn't have kept this opening hand against Paladin. It's a pretty terrible hand. Okay. Don't want Eternal Youth. Okay. You really need Murder and Extinction in this matchup. Like, properly need Murder and Extinction. So I think that... Oh, well, there's Murder. Okay. Let's Corpse Fly him. See, we might get that Vampire King out of his hand and then rise again it. I think that'd be cool. I'm taking away his blood shards, which is pretty good. I'm going to trade... I'm going to trade for this guy because I can always kill his Paladin. Whereas that guy I don't really want to waste a spell on. Oh, speaking of spells. We'll Corpse Fly him again. I'm still trying to get that... I'm still trying to get that Vampire King. There you go. I'll have that. Especially since it's 4-5. I am down by 4 life here, so he could make his Paladin into a 6-6 this turn. Yep, sure. Deaded. And he makes a Paladin. That's cool because now his hand's empty, I can just Extinction and we are we are golden at that point. Although he can use his ability again if he draws a creature this turn. So, but he didn't. So that's the one issue, because he is going to keep just making a shed load of charges. So, but the sort of good news on that front is that I'm not going to get surprised by what he draws, because, you know, he can't just hold something in hand. The Corrupt Harvester is irritating, but I have Murder and I have... why? Oh, he can't cast it. He only has single blood, doesn't he? Well, under that unfortunate circumstance, give me that! 4, 7, he's on 16. Sure, yeah, I should have actually done this pre-combat. So, give me the Paladin. Your go! Yeah, sure, that's fine. Have 4 life. What? It makes them bigger? Oh, yeah, because the shrines buff any creature he draws, so... Oh, dear. Like, things that got out of control rather quickly. Do I want to rise anything again? I don't think I do. I think I just hold up. Well, dismantling Paladin's always fun to do, because Paladin can be one of the more annoying... Paladin certainly can be one of the more annoying encounters, so... I'm not going to complain. Okay, so... this match could be irritating because Dreamer has access to Storm Colossus, which I can't remove without extinction. So I basically have to be I have to be careful going into the late game. My idea here is probably going to be make Soul Cube, wait for him to cast Colossus, cast Extinction. The other option is to Inquisition or Corpse Fly his Colossus and just reanimate it using Rise again. The reason I decided to do this is because I feel like the arena can get very monotonous sometimes. If you're just playing the same deck over and over again, I do get the feeling that sometimes you're just going to... None of this stuff excites me particularly. I just get the feeling that sometimes you're going to end up running... You know, you're just going to run the gauntlet constantly with the same deck, do the same stuff. And the thing is, we want to make it a little bit fun to do the arena, because one of the major issues with... I'll resolve Pact of Pain while I can. I don't really want to put Corpse Fly down. One of the main issues with the arena at the moment is that it's well, it's not one of, it is the most profitable thing to do pretty much in the game at the moment. It's probably the best thing to grind, because even though you're only making gold, the problem that you have with... I'm going to kill the Ancestor's Chosen rather than the 1-1 flyer. I don't want him getting any more 2-1s, and I can always block the Corpse Fly if I'm really desperate to block something. And I got his Storm Colossus, that's great. You know, you're pretty much forced to grind Arena at this point, because it is the best way of making money in the game. So if that's going to be the case, I want to have a load of different decks and things in order to be able to make that experience somewhat enjoyable. Because I don't really want to be constantly playing the same... Stonecold was what he discarded there. I don't want to be just playing the same deck over and over again, because that's just boring. And I don't play these sorts of games because I want to be constantly bored. I'm just going to sit on defense here. Thunderbird, because he's given it the ability to draw a card whenever it deals damage to me, I will just simply block it with my Corpse Fly and, you know, save all the removal for stuff that actually matters. Reality Rift is fine. I'm a bit worried his Reality Rift's on 5 here. I'm going to draw a couple of cards, and because there are a couple of Spell Shield troops I would rather he didn't get. That said, I can just cast Argus in a couple of turns, so I think I might just sit on that. Okay, that's gone up to 7, which could mean Storm Colossus. But I do have an Extinction in hand as well, so let's not... and I have two terrible transfers now as well, so even though they can't deal with Storm Colossus, they can make things very awkward. I'm going to pick up my Corpse Fly. Again, I could do the whole Argus dance if I wanted to, but I'm not really too bothered about anything that he gets with that Reality Rift, and that's a decent thing to get out of his hand, that Chaotic Rip, because it can be annoying. Okay, you got a Mecha T-Hex, so I can safely terrible transfer that. And I can safely draw a card at end of turn as well. There's Rise again, so I can take his Storm Colossus without really worrying too much. I'll use the Extinction. And then I'll just Corpse Fly him, take his last card out of his hand, which is Time Wave, and then we are now just in total and utter control. Well, there's Soul Cube, so it's going to make our life a little bit easier. I do have a slight, well, not aversion, but I do have slight personality towards playing a control deck. By slight personality, I probably mean extreme personality, but whatever. Let's just cast Argus, I suppose. He's a 5/5, isn't he? And if he gets countered, I can do... Oh, no, actually, if he had Chaotic Tendrils or whatever, that would be the one way he could get rid of Argus. It's like, even if he makes a Storm Colossus at the moment, I'm not really bothered. Speaking of making a Storm Colossus, let's do that. I always feel there should be a deck in Constructed which can use Rise again, but I've not really seen it work. It's like I've seen a few things in Constructed places which have tried to use it, but the problem is that the current tier 1 meta is so efficient in Hex. Well, really, it's the Mono Sapphire deck. That deck is so efficient that if you try and do cool things, you will simply just lose. There's no real way that you're going to get around that. The deck's just too efficient. I mean, I played against it a couple of times recently, or a few times recently, and every time you either miss a shard drop or you have a shard that comes into play tapped when you need it to be untapped, it just feels like you're going to lose. You know, it really feels like you are in a situation you cannot control anymore. He doesn't have a turn 1 little stupid orc guy, so that makes things a little bit easier. We are a bit short on shards here, so we'll have to see what he does. He does nothing turn 2, that's great. I'm going to Inquisition him, and we'll see what he's got going on over there. He's got the Prince, a Bone Warrior, a Call the Grave, a Hired Son. I am going to take the Call the Grave because his ability can actually dig up a guy, so I would rather him not like permanently be able to dig up one of his guys. He makes Hired Son Cell Horde, which is going to deal me quite a bit of damage. I'm going to make Corpse Fly here, which could be a mistake, but it does make me... I didn't get a guy, cool. It does mean at least that I can block this guy, just take the 4, and we can motor from there. This guy is probably Malice Demon's biggest threat, like by a long way, and he doesn't make a guy interesting. Ugh, that's terrible. That is horrible. I'm actually going to pick up his Hired Horn Cell Sword so that he can't, because otherwise I'd be taking 12 next turn. So I'm actually going to Call the Grave his guy so that he can't pick it up. Okay, makes a crappy little guy. That's cool. Could really do with drawing a third shard, a fourth shard at this point. That's cool. So his only dude in hand is that 3-1. Yep, picks it up. I'm going to kill this because it gets out of control really badly if you don't kill it. And he's going to get a 1-1 of some description. Oh, come on, man. You know what? I'm going to pick up his Mazat Spearman just so I can have it. Call the Grave being randomly useful. Yep. Hail to the Prince. And I finally get my 4th shard, which means I can kill the Prince. Attack for... No, because I misclicked. But Vampire King should be more than enough to win this from here. Yep, sure, Ruby Pyromancer. Not digging up the Prince, interesting. Well, I suppose he figures he can't get in, so he's not going to. But either way, this is a slaughter now. Okay, so he's got Blood Ore in hand. A lot of things I can do here, but not going to be particularly bothered. He attacks. I'm going to kill his Ruby Pyromancer. In fact, I'm going to kill both of them. I'm just going to prevent damage to myself. That's my whole thing at the moment. Just prevent damage and try not to... What did he incite Fury on? Yeah, that thing. Okay. Okay, so let's hit him with Vampire King. What can I rise again? Can rise again my Corpse Fly, can't I? I think that feels quite good, not to let him have Blood Aura on his guy. Just got a load of really randomly annoying cards. Cool. I think we're safe. So this goes to 6, this goes to 3, so we've not quite got it. So I'll just attack with the Vampire King. Sure, have a 4-2. I could have murdered it there, but I don't think that... I really don't think it's going to matter. Yep, he calls the grave his 2-0. Well done. And now it died. Bad plays being made. So, with a little bit of fortune on our side with the old Call the Grave thing and the fact that Vampire King's ridiculous, we got through that. This battle is annoying because we can't gain life, so Pact of Pain is pretty much useless. The fortunate thing is, once again, that Vampire King is pretty much an auto win. I also think that casting Argus is an auto win in this matchup. Drawing 1 shard is not an auto win, however. You know what, I'm actually going to keep this because she puts you on such a slow clock, unless she has Inferno, that I think that Argus will probably be good enough to take us to victory. And Witch is down to 5, okay. Many things can happen. Soul Cube's a great draw. I'm going to cast that, obviously, before I cast Argus, because I'm going to get there anyway. But this means I can pick up her Rampaging Taurusks and various things. You go, you do that. I think the AI is basically under, like, some sort of compulsion just to cast Heatwave if it has it in its hand. Which is a little strange, but hey. Corpse Fly is really good against Ember Spire Witch, by the way, but we're going to make Soul Cube first. And it gave me a Menacing Grok. That's a bad Menacing Grok. I want the alternate art one. The alternate art Grok is the best Grok. Okay, let's Corpse Fly. And if we draw a Shard next turn, we can actually just go straight up and drop Argus. Which, considering we have a Soul Cube in play, means that she's pretty much unable to deal with that. Yeah, fine. Yep, sure. You might regret that. Doom has come! Oh, I'm in combat still, aren't I? Now Doom has come! Okay. Okay. You don't want to do anything? That's fine by me. I'm going to terrible transfer it because I might want to pick that up and once again beat Ember Spire Witch over the head with it a little bit. As you can see, I didn't gain any life from it, which was awkward. That's Vampire King. So now I've got two creatures in play that the AI pretty much can't kill with burn. So I do definitely want a third one. I do definitely want to get up to 4 Vampire Kings, so I might be putting in some grind soon to try and get up to 4 Vampire Kings. Because I don't really see a reason not to. Alright, Ruby Lance, fine. Well, in theory, she could actually Ruby Lance Argus. That's kill it in one go. I mean, I'll just call the grave and cast it again. But, you know, these things have to be considered. And, like, why wouldn't you have cast it already? The AI acts weird in this game. Still, I'm not going to complain. It's another free victory. And we're up against the guy who does nothing but make creatures. So I need my extinctions to show themselves in this match, I think. I get all my discard, yeah, and none of my shards. That's okay, but I can definitely see this getting out of line. I don't really want this to go on too long. That's pretty good because it'll allow me to draw for extinction. It really depends what Azume does on turn 3 here. If she just makes a bucket load of guys, I'm gonna be in. I'm gonna be up the alleyway basically. I am starting on 25, which is quite good, but I'm not under any illusions that this is gonna be easy. Unless I draw an extinction, at which point the game does become a little... Oh, that's not the one I wanted to see, but fortunately it doesn't count itself amongst its abilities. I'm going to play Pact of Pain because I'm going to want to draw for extinction. I do have Terrible Transfer and the ability to cast it in hand, so I'm not really too upset at the moment. He's not putting me under masses of pressure, he is putting me under, so I'm going to kill this next turn. Oh, Corpse Fly's a goodie, actually. That might be a change of plan. Yeah. So I get rid of Surprise Runt Gang, which is potentially very annoying. And I'm going to kill this guy because he's just way too dangerous. I know that it makes that a 3-3, but at the end of the day, this guy is too dangerous to live. I'll take 6 here. I'm not really... I want to put Soul Cube down before I start doing any blocking. See what I get. I get a Bombsmith. That doesn't really change anything. Okay. So, plans. What have I got? block with corpse fly is probably the first one. Six. What can I do on 6? I can still live, so let's corpse fly him. I got his feed the young ones, which is decent. I think he might have killed me with that if he'd have cast it. Block. And... no, I blocked the wrong one. Block and murder that. Actually, no, it's fine because it makes the guy bigger for when I... oh, awesome. Awesome. Extinction, please. Ugh. It's not good. Well, I can't live without doing this, so... I think I still lose, though, don't I? Not quite yet. I'll call the grave the corpse fly, do I? Oh, no. Call the grave the eulogist. Okay, so let's see what he has this turn. I think he still kills us unless I draw an extinction here. Yeah, so I need an extinction, otherwise I'm done. That changes pretty much everything, actually. May be able to get through this. I doubt it, though. He's kind of attacking in a way that makes me feel like he's got a trick. Yep. Except that... oh. Does that still kill me? Yeah, just it kills me exactly. Okay. Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate because I got a super slow start. Extinction at any point there wins me the game. The problem that I have, and this is the problem that I have with a lot of control decks in Hex, is that if they don't draw extinction, they just feel really bad. It's like they feel supremely bad. Because you're just going 1 for 1, and eventually your opponent has more creatures than you. So you have to get a 2 for 1 or a 3 for 1 with extinction, and a lot of the time you don't have the time for it. So yeah, I shouldn't have kept that hand. I shouldn't have kept that hand game 1 as well. What was it? Like Murder, Terrible Transfer, Call the Grave or something? It wasn't very good. Against Azume, certainly I should be mulliganing for extinction. Good draw. And I get rid of his Strengthening Numbers, which is one of his PvE cards. Yep, sure. Ouch. Well, I've got Rise again, haven't I? So, yeah. What does this do? Yeah, I guess I just Rise again, Argus. Avoid this because it's annoying. Take 3. That is brutal rolling that. Of course, my backup plan was simply to... my backup plan was simply to cast Extinction. I think that Argus can race this. I'm happy to chump here. Okay. Hopero, okay. Okay, I'll just sit. Yep. He's only coming in with that. Okay, well, we'll kill it then. And then I'll kill this, which will grow his Shannara, but I'm not really too worried about that. Oh no, it doesn't, because it shrinks them by... it shrinks them due to the fact that he was around. Shrinks them due to the fact he's not there anymore. Okay, well, I'll hold on to the Call the Grave. Only that, huh? Whoop. Sure. Sure. These are things that do not matter anymore. Go. I'm going to get my 15 for 1 or whatever it's going to be with Argus. You may deal 4 to Argus. And then deal 4 to me. Well done. No, he's making militia. Whatever will I do? It's kind of annoying, but... It's got a little bit of a wombo combo going on here. Interesting attack. Block that, kill that. Take 3. That would have been supremely annoying. In fact, it was supremely annoying. Will you please take yourself off the board? Thank you. Is there anything here I want to pick up? Maybe Monica Shin, actually, because it does have Swift Strike, which is... yeah, or I could just Wrath and Rise again. No, it's fine. We are in a fine situation still. Murder this. Block this. Void this. Take 2. How many things has Argus eaten? It's like he is hungry for Shannara. I'm just waiting until I draw a Vampire King or something similar. Okay, now I can start just removing his dudes. Corpse Fly's fine. I'm just going to start kicking his ass now. If he wants to use a growth spell to kill my giant corpse fly, more good to him. Ooh, it's a secret morph. Die. Yeah, fine. Seems like a bit of a waste, but it's fine. One little tip for you guys, if you're not familiar with how it works, you can actually skip your opponent's entire turn. You can skip right to the end of the turn and pass all your phases by using the F10 key. Oh wow, it gave me Jankbot. It gave me Jankbot. Oh my god, this gave me Jankbot. I want this in play. It might turn over Extinction, but I don't care. No, my Jankbot! When it attacks, reveal a random card from your deck and play it for free 3 times. My Jankbot's gonna die. Or my Argus. Bastard. Okay, well, I guess we jank it. Jank. Get a Soul Cube, get a Pact of Pain, and get a Blood Shard, okay? We've got Devoted Emissary and 3/3. Okay. I'll just kill the Abomination. And then I'll flip over my Soul Cube and I will pick up my Jankbot. And next turn I'll not skip my phase and I'll actually kill Bunjutsu. Kill Bunjutsu. Again, we can pick that guy up with... We can now, like, use it. I'll show you, actually. I'm just going to do it just for the hell of it. It's like, make Bunjutsu. Pick him up. He dies immediately, getting a soul counter. Pick up the Shinari Militia. Void it, get a 1/2, and I can pick him up again next turn. So now I'm just going to void a creature every turn and get a soul. So there's Terrible Transfer, Inquisition, and Call the Grave. This is so good. What do I want in here? I want my Corpse Fly because he's not got a counter on him yet. I'll resolve Inquisition targeting you. You've got nothing. And I will Terrible Transfer this. Gain 11 life. And, oh, by the way, hit you for 5. This is a thing, people. Yeah, whatever. On today's list of things that do not matter. Let's draw some cards, I guess. Yeah, that's a good card to draw. This could be an extinction again. Yes! I kill all my own guys with extinction. And oh my god, what's happening? Okay, this couldn't have gone any worse, but at least it's funny. Let's pick up Bucktooth Roshi just because I can. Let's resolve the Giant Corpse Fly, making him discard card. And then let's cast Extinction, killing all my guys. It's like, that seems a bit of a waste. And this is why Jankbot is not usually played in decks with Extinction. But, you know. I have 2 other Extinctions in hand now, so it should be pretty much impossible for me to screw this up now. Let's make a Corpse Fly, just in case he's got some kind of really weird removal spell there. Jank, Bloodshard, Murder, and... Again! I hit Extinction again! That is ridiculous. Right, can I have my Jankbot back, please? I refuse to not let Jankbot get the... Why couldn't he have picked Argus or something? Or like either of my Vampire Kings? It has to hit my Extinction again. Jank. Corpse Fly, Bloodshard, okay. God, I love Jankbot. I would play Jankbot in a 150 card mono blood constructed deck just because. In fact, yes, well done. In fact, I may even do that. Yay! It got Argus for me. Go, my pretties. Okay, well that was a little bit convoluted. So, 1 defeat now. We'll get our chance to avenge that at some point, I imagine. Although if Zarlocks spawns with Cerebral... That actually happened the last time. Zarlocks spawned with Cerebral Fulmination, which for this deck is pretty much impossible to beat. I did beat it on the 3rd try, but I think it was because there was something to do with a... Was it... Did I bounce his Cerebral... It was like... Some crazy thing happened that got his Cerebral Fulmination off the table, and then I was able to card advantage him out, but it really wasn't very easy. Well done! Top draw play. You ever get the feeling there might be something a little bit wrong with the AI? So I've got Salt, Harpy and Mentor of the Flames. Well, Mentor of the Flames is the only one that I really care about because he's not got any spells for that Salt Harpy. I have a Murder in hand, so I don't really want to give him card advantage off the Mentor of the Flames if I can avoid it. And it was like, yeah, of course I'm going to draw shards at some point. Yep. Nothing? Okay. Good draw. In with the Soul Cube. Royal Den Mother, you beauty. I got a Mama Bear. Look at this Mama Bear. Okay, so he's going to get Ruby again for whatever reason that is. Could be really aggressive and like turn over my Soul Cube again. But again, I'm not under any threat whatsoever here. And with a Soul Cube, I just have complete and utter long range. The game is completely locked up unless he draws something. That's not the nicest spell he could draw. As long as he doesn't draw Zakia's god-awful, like, nuke, I should be okay. Like, Zakia's Void Everything or Zakia's -4/-4 would probably get him back in this. Double Salt Harpy, huh? You know what? I'm just going to Extinction that. That's not a bad one either, but... Now I get to play with your Salt Harpies. Sure. 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 Well, thank you for getting me away from the cards. Thank you for getting rid of a couple of terrible transfers for me and the fact that I couldn't draw another shard. Okay, so he turned his guy over. That's cool. And I still can't draw another shard. I don't know what rage this has got. 2. Okay. Wow, that's really awkward. This can get out of control a lot easier than this can. He's only got 1 card, so I don't expect Salt Harpy to do too much. Yeah, I'm going to murder this. Just because it can get out of control a lot easier. And also because I can just dig it up with Soul Cube, cast 2 spells, and then have an enormous guy. Sure. Yes. 4, okay. Shard would be good. I'm going to cast Corpse Light because he does play Verdict of the Ancient Kings. Ash Harpy was what was in the graveyard. Not much going on here until I can draw another shard. That random nice peel. It's like that random demolition has really screwed me over here. I would be doing so well if he didn't draw that. or if I could have drawn a 6th shard. I've drawn a lot of shards without drawing anything. I'm going to have to use Argus's ability, and that's something I didn't actually want to do, but unfortunately I've been left with no choice because I've got a third of the way through the deck and seen less than a fifth of my shards, which is pretty brutal. Finally. I think I just call the grave for a corpse fly, do I? Yeah. Seems the safest thing to do. I mean, actually, the safest thing to do would be to call the grave Argus there, but in fact, I'm going to call the grave Argus as well, just so I've got him in my hand, and it's fairly mana efficient to do that. And I might actually do the corpse fly trick. Of killing it and digging it up with the Genesis thing. Let's cast Soul Cube. Oh, what the hell? Oh, it was the 1-3 and a baby Yeti. I'm going to stay on D. I don't think Ruby Enchantress has anything with speed, but I don't really want to take any chances. That baby Yeti's wanting its time, isn't it? I'm actually going to hold up the 5 shards here because Ruby Enchantress can get the power of Zakia, which does X damage, like from her ability. So I want the ability to actually live through that. See what she gets. Nothing yet. Do I dare flip this? I've got to try, so let's flip it. Okay, right, we're good. We are okay. Okay, Inquisition still keeps up mana, so... And really nothing that we need to be worried about. So I think I pick up the Royal Den Mother. Oh no, I don't. No, I don't. I pick up the sure, whatever. I pick up his Burning Scan now. Because he's got a dude. And let's just put the beats on. Yeah, so this one got potentially very frustrating, but I think we're okay. We're definitely okay now. And I'll pick up the Royal Den Mother as well. I could have picked up the 9-3. Oh, that was bad. I've actually just put myself on dead. Oh no, I haven't, because she can't make a power of Zakia this turn, so that's okay. And I've got Argus in case of any hijinks. Kill that, and game over. Oh, lucky. Okay, so next up is Ballistics Expert. Again, another matchup which relies on me drawing Extinction because murder is useless. Well, it's almost useless. He has like 8 targets or something like that. Not a lot. It's basically an Extinction and Terrible Transfer. So I think this hand's all right. Give him a Tunnel Troop, so I'm gonna have something to murder at least. So we're hoping to avenge our loss here and take us back to 0 losses. If Zarlocks is what we're going to be up against, I would like to have a I would like to have at least somewhat of a backup plan for him. Let's see, what have you got in there? Construct form and elimination spell. I'm going to take the construct form, and that thing's way too dangerous. I don't want him transforming the Electroid because that just lets him put the beats on way too quickly. And while we're at it, I will just continue making shards. Which is going to be my job for a little while. Augmentation bots, okay. This could be Reese, which would not be my favourite thing in the world. Let's just shrink that down to 0.2 so he can't do anything with it. It's Monsoon, which is, you know, that's pretty good as well, but yeah, die. You know what? I don't mind, I'll have a Monsoon quite happily, thank you very much. Plays that, gets back nothing, that's fine. Attack! I'm going to TT this because he could end up... it's possible he ends up making an Electrode active if I don't. So he gets to kill my Monsoon, which is annoying. Yeah, the ability to do more damage is really rough. VK is a good one though. Flag Scrapper me? Or that? Why would you Flag Scrapper that if you can't kill it? That seems really bad. I'm not going to argue with I'm not going to argue with what he's doing. Whoops! Nicked your guy. Kill that. Sometimes you do get the like, oh, nice draw. Nice. So I'm on 39. Oh, whoops, took that as well. How does that work? How can a vampire take an augmentation bot? I don't get it. It's like, this makes no sense to me. Cube. And we got the challenge done, so we're back to 0 losses. Cool. Oh, great. Zodiac Shaman. That's the guy you want to see at this phase. You want to see Zodiac Shaman. I actually do want to see Warbot as well. Just to kick him in the head constantly, because I have Soul Cubes and Argus. It's like, best of luck dealing with that. With your ability that destroys non-artifacts. I'll keep this. It's a bit of a roughie, but if I draw a third shard, if and when I draw a third shard, I can just make Pact of Pain wreck him with it. Or I can wait for like 5 million turns and cast an Argus. That's always a thing, isn't it? I mean, he heralds doom. It's got to be good, right? Ooh. On form. I'd like you guys, if you are interested in this, to put some... if you are interested in seeing me play a few things, just name a couple of cards that you might want me to try, that you want me to try and play with or build a deck around. Because I'm really a fan of the whole creativity side of PvE, where you can put multiple things together and have a really cool deck. So I would be very interested in like you guys coming up with like, well, maybe you could try this. Maybe you might want to try this. Okay, well, I might want to. So why wouldn't we? And that was a really bad draw thing. Oh yeah, Blood Cauldron Ritualist. Whew. He's got his one good creature. Good job, I've got a Soul Cube in play. Many Soul Cubes are in play. I got an Argus off that. Oh, that's so sick. So sick. Sure. Yeah. Keep making with your bad cards. I can take another turn. Let's make a third Soul Cube. I got a High Pit Lord. Oh, the things that are funny. Let's shrink that just so that we get take one less damage. Oh god, all the things. Yep. Take 4. Okay. Okay. Yeah, fine. Does this actually have... Yes! The Argus that it created actually does have the 4 discard and wreck stuff ability, so... That's so amazing. So amazing. Okay, whatever. Let's just hard cast Argus, right? He could play Solitary Confinement. If he does, I can just use this Argus to kill the Solitary Confinement and get my other Argus in play. And we won! Make Vampire King hold this guy up on Void duty. Because I've got a few things that I would like to actually test out. Yep, kill that. Draw a card. I highly doubt anything in his hand is true, but you know. There's Repel, okay. Okay. Flip the Soul Cube. Put Argus back in play. Seems okay to me. Oh, I should have just put the High Tomb Lord back into play and killed him, I suppose. It's the one problem when you get into this degree of control against an opponent. You sometimes just attempted to be a dick. So this is my outlet to you guys, who more than likely are Commander players. If you're talking about being a dick in games and prolonging agony, here's a way to do it without pissing off everyone in your local store. High Tomb Lord. I don't know how big he is, but he's going to be quite large. 14-14. Okay. Not bad when you kill a load of stuff. He does end up quite big. Sure, draw some cards. Sure. Yes. Let's just draw a couple of cards. Oh, there's a TT. You know, I want another card in my bin. No greater success than excess. There we go. Okay, so we've got, what, 2 to go now? Another deck that Extinction is a complete all-star against. You'll find when you play through Arena there are certain cards which are just total all-stars. Zakoi is obviously one. I think that that's fairly obvious. Oh, I so want to keep this. Yeah, okay. I'm taking a risk, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, what do I want millions of? I think Argus, actually. Oh, I didn't realise I was on the play. This is a reckless keep. This is a reckless keep. Okay, so I'm probably getting hit for 4 on turn 2. Looks like we might have got away with it a little bit, though. We're going to get hit for 4 on turn 2 by his Verdant Wild Boar. Oh, he's only got Roseline. Okay, right, well. Scrap that plan, then. Okay, and he loses a Briar Patch, so we're actually in really good shape already. Okay. Oh, I guess we hold Murder then. Awkward. Good. Oh yeah, I haven't actually tossed my guy in the bin yet, have I? I guess we can just sit here for a little bit. I want to use the Extinction after he's used his hero ability. Sure. Yeah, so I'm not in a rush here, so... Okay, uses his ability. That's all he got out of it. That's pretty rough. Do I just want to take it here? Well, I'm obviously not just taking it. I think yeah, I think I actually murder that because it goes back into his deck. So I'd rather it just die. Having the corpse fly go to the bin's fine. And yeah, then we just kill everything. Yeah, okay. And I'll pick up a corpse fly while I'm at it, just so I can be mana efficient. And your turn. I wanted him to burn his ability before I casted an Extinction. There was no real need to do anything else at that point. I killed the Wild Boar because in theory the only way that I'm going to like seriously get wrecked is if he gets the Wild Boar back and it's an 8/8, then there's a very big chance that I get wrecked. Where are we? Let's just show you the card. There you go. At the end of turn, put it back into your deck. If you do, it gets +4/+4 and loses this power, so it becomes an 8/8 with speed when you draw it again. So, you know, that's a card that I really didn't want to have to deal with. Soul Cube! Oh, it gave me a Tyrannosaurus Hex. Okay. And once again, I misclick on the corpse flyer. Click, click. It's like, usually when I play PvP, I'm a lot... I do play a lot more deliberately. Can I just rise again his incredibly fat... like, no point. So, yeah, I'm a lot more deliberate when I play PvP. But often when I play PvE, I just like... You get trained. I mean, as you can see, I've made like 600,000 gold because I have all the alternate arts. So you tend to just get through and play as quickly as possible under those circumstances. I'm not a fan of the situation we're in at the moment because he can just like draw double he can draw his wild boar back now. And the longer this goes without me drawing some kind of relevant health gain, then there is the possibility I just get destroyed. Nah, I'm okay though. I am officially okay. Everything is right with the world now. So we should be getting 3 cracks at whatever the boss is. If it's Zarlocks, I will attempt to make him as miserable as possible. I could have risen again Argus there. In fact, it probably would have been the best play. I don't think it would have increased the clock much, so... I do want to use his ability to actually get rid of something useful. Well, that's just a terrible thing to do. Sure. Yep. See, that's a 5-5, so... Yeah, sure. Now witness stacking. Void this. Target you, discard a card if you please. Should have cast that Survival of the Fittest, by the way, but I'm not judging. Get a soul counter on this. And everything is okay once again. Kill this. And rise again, targeting Argus. Combos are a real thing. And I stay above the magical 8 there, which is the important thing to do. Cube! What do I get off this one? A Genesis pool and something rubbish. Okay. I'll cast Pact of Pain since I can't cast a removal spell at this point. And I'm still not dead even if he top decks a wild boar at this point. Next turn he can use his ability again, potentially. So we're looking at what are the ways I can potentially lose here. And I think that that's probably the only way. So I'm going to make a 6-4. Just hit him. So he could use his ability turn over 2 Verdant Wild Boars. So this protects me from that. And he didn't draw a shard anyway, so all is well, and we get to move on to the final boss. Yeah, sure. So, final boss, 3 shots at it, and it's Zarlocks himself. Okay. So... you are going to get to see the full horror of what Zarlocks can do, but hopefully I'm going to have the tools available to me to teach him a lesson about complacency. That's good enough for me, I think. Pact of Pain's a real, like, there's real downsides to Pact of Pain in this matchup. However, because I've got the Soul Cube, I may deliberately want him to draw into Tarantulas in this game. No, I'm not joking. That is his best start that he can have against me because I don't have a way to kill it. So he might actually mill me really hard in the early part of this game. That is awkward. Him playing, him making that on the play is super awkward for me. He's going to get to mulligan me a lot. Oh my god, he's actually got like the best start he possibly can and he's not hit any tarantulas. Okay, there's Pact of Pain. Is there anything in here that I might actually really want? Not at the moment. So he mills me again. Again doesn't hit a tarantula. That is really irritating. In case you don't know, I actually want him to hit tarantulas. So the fact he's not hitting them is really annoying to me. I should have made Soul Cube there, not Vampire King. But then again, he doesn't have... That's actually fine. Yeah, I don't care about the spiders. I only really care about my library at this point, and that's just too easy a way to deal with it. Crackling wit, okay. I need that soul cube, man. Okay. Right, cube it is. And he has a chronic madness in hand as well, so what's he got? He does have an Inquisitor Thirst. Do I... You know what? Give me that thing. And kill this. I realise this is going to turn over his Incantation of Fear fairly quickly, but... Oh, it's only enters an opposing graveyard, okay. But right now, he's given me a window because he's not got any Sapphire mana, so I need to take advantage of that, and I need to do it really fast. Hit Chronic Madness again. Let's have a look at what he's got. Rot, Madness, Rot. So he's actually got nothing. I'm going to take Chronic Madness. It's the only card there that's actually threatening, and I'm going to make Inquisitor Thirst. Yep, that's right, Zarlocks. I am going to mill your stupid ass out. Mills me. Get some madness. Murder your madness. Oh god, I forgot about that card. I forgot about it completely. Well, I guess I have to extinction then, don't I? And then I'll flip up the soul cube and I will get the... this is bad. Yeah, I completely forgot about that Verdict of Ancient Kings. That was terrible. And the fact... It's really strange, but the fact he hasn't hit a Tarantula in my deck is what's screwing me over here. If he'd have hit one, I would be fine, but the fact he hasn't hit one is absolutely dreadful for me. I'm going to pick up his Maddening Nightmare and then cast it. I'm going to block. So I have a soul cube. Okay, rises it again, that's fine. I get a rise again, okay. He could draw a lot of cards if he gets that. But I can't rise anything again. Because I've not drawn an Argus either. This is like a real freak of a draw. It's like on both sides. This has been an incredible freak of a draw. Okay, go. I will take the hit off it because I need to use Pact of Pain to find an... Do I have any other extinctions? 1, 2, 3. I have one more extinction. Okay. God, this has been brutal. Where are his brood eggs? And where are my Arguses? There's Argus, okay. Right, we can still do this. We can still do this. Void that. And rise again, targeting Argus. Unfortunately, he does have 3 Tarantulas in the top in the 16 cards that are left in my deck. So, and he put a spider on top of his deck. No, I don't know. Yeah, this is awkward now. Still not hit anything. Yeah, well, I'm just going to draw into it. What? What is happening here? I don't understand any of what is happening here. This is like the weirdest game of Hex I have ever played. Yes, you drew your 2/1 spider spawn. Well done on screwing yourself over. This is just totally inexplicable what is happening here. Right, what do you have in hand? I want to be able to take something. I'll take the rot. This is just unbelievably strange. And also the AI, for some reason, with Zarlocks, can't use his ability. Or, like, he doesn't know how to use Murmurs of the Void correctly. Well, we get there next turn if I somehow don't draw a Tarantula. No, he's milled me out, the bastard! And the 3 Broodlord eggs were the bottom 3 cards of my library. Weirdest game ever. Okay. Right, so we get another shot at him. Yeah, things happened in a really bad order for me that game, and that's something that can happen when you're up against Zarlocks. It's like, first off, we were on the draw and he made a turn 2 thirst and I couldn't deal with it. And then second of all, he somehow like misses Tarantulas. And the weird thing is, if I draw a Tarantula, which if I draw a Tarantula which kills one of my guys when it comes into play, I kill it and then I just do the Soul Cube dance for the rest of the game. But because it took so long for me to draw into a Tarantula, or the fact I never did, I couldn't abuse my Resurrect and do other stuff. So I just ended up with a really, really like awkward, really weird, awkward way the game was built around. Okay, so we're not getting worded this turn, which is good. The card that matters the most in Zarlocks' deck is Chronic Madness, because that's how he's going to mill us the fastest. My game plan is to get 2 Soul Cubes in play, basically, and at that point I can do pretty much whatever. Yeah, his Chronic Madness is really annoying. But that actually, the way he played that, it actually means I can now... Great! Awesome. Right, so I can cast Soul Cube. And I can pick up... What did I get? A Rechosaurus and a Wrathwood Mossling. The Mossling might be interesting, but the thing that we are going to do first is pick up our Argus. Right. So now we are set up for what Zarlocks may do here. Okay, Inquisitors me. Misses again. Stop missing! You're rubbish! Right, I'm going to kill the Inquisitor permanently so it doesn't create any issues for me. And while I'm at it, I will flip Soul Cube over and I'm going to pick up the Mossling because if he doesn't kill it, it can actually transform. You know, at some point it will transform into a Master Moss. Ooh. And he got a Tarantula. Sure, extinction. Use the cube to pick up my Mossling again. Yep, sure. And now we get to play the douche game. Douche game, engage. Give me that Tarantula. How does it feel, Zarlocks? Yeah, sure, murder it. I'm only going to pick it up again next turn. In. And now I have a Master Moss. Whee! Master Moss. I don't actually have one in my collection yet. Oh, you jerk. You know what? I'm actually going to terrible transfer my own Master Moss so I can get a 2-2 out of it, which goes back on top of my library for some reason. Why would that happen? It's a different target. I don't understand. Anyway. Wow, that's really weird. You know what? I'm going to mill you out, you dirty, filthy spider. I'm going to take the 3-1 Inquisitor, I think. Or do I take... No, I take the 3-1 Inquisitor. That's the most annoying dude. And I can actually dig up his 3-1 Inquisitor as well. Ah, annoyances. Milieu. What did I get? I got Zared Venom Scorn off him. How cool's that? Boo hiss. Especially since it's Crackling Rot, meaning I can't use it now. Do you have anything I might want? Well, you have a Ventos Inquisitor. They're quite cool. You know what? I'm going to have a Fiendish Kabbalist. Just make a nice 3-4. Solid as a rock. Whatever. Ooh. Spiders. Oh no, he got a Tarantula. Whatever will I do? I will cast Extinction. That's what I'm going to do. Give me that Inquisitor Thirst. What do you mean vindictive? I'm nothing of the sort. Mill. Oh, the simple joys of killing Xarlox with his own cards. And I'll play Argus. Oh no, I didn't use Genesis Cube to pick up his Tarantula. Dude, you're letting me down here. Mill you. I am going to mill you out. I am not going to... I am going to sit on my guys and I am going to mill you out. How many Chronic Madnesses are gone? Or are any gone? None. Okay. You know what? I'm going to remove these before the computer realizes how to use them. Corpse Lie you. How did that get a counter on it? I don't understand. I'm just going to have it. Milieu. Right, I got a Chronic Madness there, and I got a Word of Zen. So I think I've got all these words now. 2 of them. Maybe not all of them. Ushul, huh? Murder, so I can pick it up. Void this. Milieu. I am going to put him on low enough life so that I can actually kill him in a heartbeat if necessary. But there's too much fun stuff going on here. Yeah, I'll have an Ushul. What things? Oh no, he drew a Web of Death, bastard. Killing Argus, okay. And he got another Tarantula out of it. Cool story, bro. I mean, you've got one of those, haven't I? And that seems quite cool. Give me that. Dick. Milieu. Not got much left, have you? So I'm going to only attack with... Unless he kills the Inquisitor first, which I just think would be an act of spite at this point. I'm going to get back that Ushul. Die. I get 3rd Chronic Madness, 4th Chronic Madness, so all these Chronic Madnesses are gone. Yep. I am going to mill you out and kill you in exactly the same turn. And this is for every single person who has ever struggled with your crappy... Please take my Wrathwood Mossling. I would be so happy. Yes! No. It's a bit too late for it, but whatever. There you go. Milled and killed in the same turn. Suck on that, Zentoth. And that is for everyone who you have screwed over throughout the history of the game. Get a good look at his deck, peeps. It's actually a very, very powerful deck. Especially with that Tarantula rubbish going on. But, milled and killed in the same turn. Eat it, Zarlocks. So, not entirely a perfect run, but that is getting revenge on Zarlocks for absolutely everything he's done. And I think it's a fun deck. There are certain tweaks you can make to change around and try out what we do. Did I get anything interesting? No is the answer on that front. Ugh. Pretty horrible overall, but never mind, guys. That is it for this episode of the Hex Arena. No sale on Veteran Gladiator. I am disappointed. Oh well, that will be it for this time, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Remember, leave your comments down below for what cards you would like to see me play around with. If there are any you'd like to see me play around with in Arena, just let me know and I'll see what I can come up with. So, thanks very much for watching again, guys. This is Boomer for Caravel Gaming, and I'll see you next time.